Hello, I'm Shleb, and today I'm going to be showing you my experience playing in my first official Final Fantasy TCG tournament. If you're new here, I started playing Final Fantasy TCG at the end of January of this year, and I'm posting content as I learn the game and get into this space. I grew up playing many Square Enix games such as Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Nier, and have shared my love for those games on Twitch and YouTube, and now I'm learning all things Final Fantasy TCG. I was able to very last minute attend the 2025 Winter Cup held at Game Theory in Raleigh, North Carolina. When I first started playing locals, I remember the group talking about this tournament, but because I was so new, I felt like I wouldn't know enough to play in it, and it's kind of a long trip from here to make it worth just attending for fun. But the week before, I was able to get off work and attend anyway. And not only was I able to attend, I was able to play in the tournament. Me and my partner did the 8-hour drive from PA to Raleigh after work with only one stop to get food at a brewery in Virginia. Food was delicious and the warm cider was perfect with the view and the fireplaces nearby. The drive down wasn't too bad and we barely hit traffic. This was also the longest I've ever driven as I'm a new driver. It doesn't even show. Welcome to West Virginia. We got into town Friday night and day one of the tournament was the next day.
This is built. This is front door. Hardwood floors. I'm so tired. I literally got bit by a dog today. I was actually supposed to go play tonight and practice because I saw it practice with the new deck, but they were leaving the store shortly and I made the mistake of laying down, so hopefully we'll get practicing tomorrow morning. If not, then I'm playing a tournament with a new deck. But I know most of the cards, so it should be fine. I don't know. I look gross. I am gross. I need to shower. Bye. This is on like a freaking metal box. Right back there. That's an interesting building.
This Winter Cup was unlike ones in previous years, as it was done in a teams format. Day one required you having 2 teammates and 1 ticket for the team in order to play. The tickets were $90 and sold out within 12 minutes of going on sale. If you're lucky enough to have a ticket or already be on a team with someone who had one, you would play day 1 of the event with your teammates, receiving a play mat, booster packs, and promos.
Yeah, that's my third one for my
I literally just got that. Ignore the stains. My cat likes to dip his paws into my drink and then splatter them. Very rude. These are the packs that I got from Raleigh that I forgot that I wanted to open. So we're going to do that. 1, 2, 3. Was that the trick? I don't remember. I've never opened this set before, so all these cards will be new to me. We got Moth Slasher, Kane, Cloud of Darkness, very cute. I like that. We got Clavat, Lily Set. I don't know who that is. We got Ramza, Gabranth. Oh my! I just ordered this. Oh, that's dumb. Hope, Carbuncle. Oh, this is cute. I like that. And Shiva. That's pretty. And Nanamigo. This is our holo. It's a full art. Oh my god. We got a full art. Holy sh. Dude, this is so gross. I should clean this. Or hide it with a hide it with my one of my play mats in the future. I was just lazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we got. I need to order this. That's crazy. I need Meaths. Not this one though. Okay, Meath, Summoner, Ice Bomb, Epiornis, Blue Mage, Yuke. I love Ukes. Ukes are one of my favorite races ever. Carla, Cheetah, Guido. I can't read, apparently. I'm sorry. We got Lightning LB. I got Ignacio. Folka. Ooh, that's pretty. And Adia. Oh my gosh. Oh, Adia Hollow. Oh, I love that. She's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Another hit. The freaking 4. It's kind of crazy though. 4. 5th to the back. We got Selkie, also from Crystal Chronicles. We got Bard. I'm not pulling these well today. Uni, I pulled her in Brave Exvius. Clavat again. We got Ninja, Red Mage, Vaughn, Angiel. I like that art. Got Odin, Ayame, Severo, and Hollow is Kane. Ooh, wait, and non-hollow. Sick. Okay, back to the video. If you placed top 8, you received even more goodies. And I believe there's also, like, if you placed even better than that, you received even more goodies, but I don't remember all the details. I was able to play because Adam needed one more teammate for their team, as their 3rd person was not able to make the trip. So I took that slot. So a huge thank you to Adam for the chance to play with you and Ike this weekend. While this Winter Cup is an official Square Enix event, it had no impact on getting national invites or anything like that. It's just an official for funsies Square Enix tournament. The way it worked was you and your teammates would have your own decks. However, you could not share any cards. So if I had this Barnabas card in my deck, neither of my teammates could play with Barnabas in their deck. You and your team would face another team made up of 3, and you would take on one member of that team. For the West Coast Winter Cup, each team member was either a tank, healer, or DPS. I was excited and really hoping to be a DPS, as I am a machinist main in Final Fantasy XIV, only for them to change it to A, B, or C, which is way more lame than tank, healer, DPS. Although I did want to be B for Belly, as you know, it's like, you know, raid group related. It's not just ABC, it's like Alliance A, Alliance B, Alliance C. It's just not as fun. So I did want to be B for Belly, which is what I got, but not for the sake of me wanting it. And I'll explain that all briefly in a little bit. So people who were A would go against teams and play against the team member that was also A. I was B, so I played the team members that were B. And if you were C, you would play against the C's of that team. What raid group, I mean, what letter you were was decided amongst you and your team, and you just wrote it down on your deck list when you handed that in. Day 1, I was lucky and Adam had already printed out my deck list, so I didn't have to write mine down. All I had to do was slap my name on it, give it my deck list a name if I wanted to, and hand it in. I did name my deck Live Stand because how could I not be? The biggest difference with the teams format is that your teammates can help you make decisions in your game and you can help them in theirs. Whereas when you play singles, you can only rely on yourself and your decision making. But when we're playing teams format, you can lean over and be like, hey, should I play this or this, for example? And they can answer with what you should do, which is super helpful if you are a new player. So they purposely put me as B, so that way I would have A on one side and B on the other side, so I could ask either of them questions while I played. This being a teams event was honestly so perfect for me as a new player, and I cannot recommend it enough if you are new to Final Fantasy TCG to play a teams event if they ever do this again. I really hope Square Enix does, as this was such an easy first tournament to get into and it made it way less scary and intimidating. Like, if there is one thing I can get across in this video, is that if you are new to Final Fantasy TCG and you're nervous about playing in official tournaments, like in the single events, try teams format if they do this again. And Square Enix, please do this again. Even as like a side event at official events, like this would be so fun to continue doing. I believe there were about 34 teams. I don't remember the exact number. And we played 5 rounds total to determine the top 8. And the top 8 would continue playing if you made it into top 8. They would keep track of how many individual wins you and your teammates would get, as well as how many damage points your team got to help with any tiebreakers. After round 1, you would play another team in round 2 that had the same outcome as your team. So if your team lost, you would play another team that lost, But if you won, you would play another team that won. And later on into the tournament, if you lost 2 but won 1, you would also play another team that lost 2 but won 1 as well. However, this was about what your team did, not necessarily you. So you can go this entire tournament losing every single game and you could still easily make it into top 8. The game was played as normal. The first one to do 7 damage points to their opponent would win, or if your opponent ran out of cards to draw. Because this was a tournament, there was a time limit per round. If you happen to go to time, your game would go to turn 0, and starting from turn 0, you would no longer have a time limit, and each person would then have 3 more turns to do as much damage as possible or get to 7 damage points. So whoever got to 7 first or just simply did more damage at the end would win that round. And I think if you tied, that means you both lose. I think. I could be so wrong. I don't remember what would happen if you guys tied. So before we got to the tournament, I went to the hotel that Adam and Ike were staying at to get some practice in. At locals, I have been playing with an ice priming deck that was essentially mono ice. And this is also what I played with in the tournament. However, there were some cards that were different. So I quickly tried to learn this new-ish deck as quickly as possible that morning. Not only was I trying to learn all these new cards that I had, but I also needed to practice against Turbo Chaos. It was suspected that a lot of people would be playing Turbo Chaos as this card was going to be banned, and this is the literal last tournament that it was going to be legal in. Weirdly enough, though, during my practice rounds, I won both matches against Turbo Chaos. I had really good openings, and I was just able to build a wall of forwards to prevent my opponent from attacking, and they drew to their loss, and so I won. Which is essentially the only way to win against Turbo Chaos. They just have to draw all of their cards. This is when I also learned that they were no longer doing tank, healer, DPS, but A, B, and C, and I rambled and yapped to my partner about why it isn't as lame as it might sound.
Okay, so in Alliance Raids, it's parties A, B, and C. And in the World of Darkness Alliance Raid, A focuses on ads, B goes in the belly, C for chains. But the joke that he said was that all in belly, B in belly, come over here, get in the belly for ABC instead of how it's supposed to be done. But nobody goes in the belly, so that's why everyone goes in belly. Do you understand? No?
I had also realized that I was able to talk to my teammates while playing, which eased a lot of my nerves about playing my first tournament.
So we're heading over. We were practicing at their hotel for a bit because I hadn't played with the deck that I'm going to be using today. I played with a deck very similar, but not quite. It wasn't exactly the same. I would say it's like maybe like 50 to like 70% the same. It was mostly the same, but there's like quite a few cards that were also different. I don't know. Anyway, but I just found out that because it's teams, my teammates can literally help me play once they're done playing. So I feel so much better about playing as a new player. This is like honestly the perfect tournament to be playing in as a new player. So I'm really excited to play. I just really need a monster because I want to take my meds and I just want a monster. Okay, getting there now.
Hey, like this is the reason behind the ban of chaos with Jack like smiling.
So cute. I like it, but this is what I'm borrowing for today. Very excited.
So let's start with round 1.
Round 1, you may begin.
As I said earlier, I was playing a mono ice priming deck that was very similar to the one I've been playing with at locals. I had a few extra summoning cards I'd never seen or played with, and a few different backups. I would say like a quarter to half the cards were different. Adam played a Refia deck, and Ike played a mono earth deck. My group of people from PA and just like our surrounding area had 5 teams that were playing at this tournament. And of course, our very first round would be against one of our PA groups. My first game was against A-Mart. When I tell you that this round was truly so embarrassing, I cannot explain it enough. I cannot begin to fully describe how awful this round was for me. Amar brought a Knights deck, which I had very little experience playing against at my locals. And boy, do I hate playing against Knights because of Amar. But is also why I'm now playing with one. Very early into the round, he got 2 damage points against me. The second one being a Shiva from Final Fantasy 16. I believe I discarded a Shiva and Kurasame to play an Emina to get Torgal out. Important for later. I later got Jill out and was ready to prime. I leaned over to my teammate Adam and asked if it was too early to prime. He gave me the okay to do so, so I spent the cost necessary to prime. What I did not consider was the fact that I had a Shiva in my discard pile, a Shiva in my damage zone, and a Shiva in my hand. In Final Fantasy TCG, you are limited to having 3 cards of like that particular card in your deck. And when you prime, you have to look through your deck to prime, not through your hand, not through your discard pile or the damage zone. So I was not able to prime and could not take back the cards that I had spent to prime. The pain I felt from not realizing how stupid I was for miscounting was immense, but also the pain of knowing that I was about to be ran over by knights was also just as horrifying. Before I knew it, Amar went from 2 knights to 7, and I lost the first round 0-7. It did make for a very good laugh, and while I have never made that mistake before, I will never make that mistake again. Adam, ironically, was the only one who won his match, so our team lost the first round. Round 2 begins, and we are playing another PA group. This time, I was not playing Mike, but rather his son, Steven. This event was my first time meeting him, and I quickly learned that I would hate the deck that he was playing, Griever. I had never seen this card in play, and it was the bane of my existence for essentially my mono ice deck. Griever would bring out a witch onto the field, and on top of playing Ultimacia, he brought out a card that I cannot remember, I'm so sorry, that made it so all the text on my cards meant nothing. Literally nothing, which is like everything when it comes to mono ice. Like my text means everything. I can't dull, I can't freeze, I can't prime, I can't do anything. So I gave Steven his first win of the day with 0-7. That's tough. But I got 1 point of damage. I did really misplay this round 2 by not getting out more forwards. Like honestly, I'm so positive that I could have gotten some damage points here if I had just gotten out a wall a little bit just to swing with. But I didn't, so I didn't get anything. But lesson learned yet again. This time, both Adam and Ike won their matches, and I was the only one who lost. So my team won round 2. Now at round 3, we finally played a new team. This team was not our normal crew of people, so I was finally having to introduce myself to someone and apologize for being new and probably being slower than your average Final Fantasy TCG player. I saw that he was playing a 13 deck, and I leaned over to Ike to ask for advice early on. He said he's going to play fast and aggressive, so I need to keep up with him. And let me tell you, this round went perfectly for me. I finally saw a good amount of backups because my first 2 rounds, I didn't see any. I saw a total of like 5. So I was able to get my backups out. I got Clive out, primed into Ifrit, and so every time my opponent went to special with lightning, I was able to stop it. Like when I tell you I pulled everything out at the most perfect time, like, oh, the cards were blessing me. So with all this perfect luck on my side, I won my first match. It was so exciting, and I yelled from how tense my body was during that round. My opponent was very nice and explained his deck to me, as I had never played a 13 deck like his before. Unfortunately, I was the only one on my team who managed to win, so my team lost round 3. Going into round 4, I was feeling very good after my first win and was finally playing a girl. Earlier in the day, my group mentioned that there were more girls at this event than previous events. And finally at round 4, I got to play another femme presenting person, which was honestly just really exciting for me. I really enjoy feeling not alone. I played against Amethyst, who was playing with a Brave Exvius Crystal deck. She was beyond friendly and gave really helpful advice during our match. She actually even rolled her eyes at Adam when he gave me some pretty bad advice during our match. She also made different suggestions a couple of times as to what I should do. She was so funny with how she described her actions too. The one that sticks out the most from memory was her saying, because she watched him die, she gains a crystal. And then at one point she also talked about each round being a day. She was easily my favorite match of the day. I laughed a lot despite losing. This was also the first match that we went to time on. I was 2-3 on damage points, and I went first after round 0. I only managed to get one more damage point and she got 2, taking the win 3-4. Adam got his win and Ike lost his match, so our team lost round 4. Finally, our last game of the day, and I managed to go the whole tournament without seeing Turbo Chaos! So I thought. We played against the Shantoto cast group. 2 of the 3 members have a YouTube channel where they talk about Final Fantasy TCG. I played Eric, who was playing Turbo Chaos. But I felt really good going into the match because of how well my practice matches went this morning. But the key to winning Turbo Chaos is building a wall of forwards very quickly to prevent them from attacking and forcing them to run out of cards. And I did not manage to do any of that. During his first turn, we actually forgot to make sure I took a damage point from his chaos, and we had to call a judge over to go back and ensure that I got a damage point.
I didn't mill. Oh, sorry. Oh no, I milled the chaos together. I did not mill off. Okay, yeah, okay, that didn't happen. Yeah, that's not. Okay, it's. I feel. Okay, so what happened? Draw. Okay. Which cards did you draw? I believe I drew these. Can you verify these 2 cards? Yes. Okay. Do you remember the order of these 2 cards? It's okay, man. That I don't know. Okay. So there's no way to determine which is the top card. So you can determine indeed that these were the top 2 cards, correct? Yes. How far are we in main? This is our main one. Yeah, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. No plays have happened at all. Do you have a dice? Odds? It's a verse. What's that? Okay. So, draw another card. You have a pen. I'm going to give you an extension. Okay. People wonder how your expenses time is going to flip this up. It's for your whole team. Okay. You are good. Thank you, sir.
Because I had already drew my cards, I didn't know which one would have been the damage point, so the judge came over and rolled a dice to figure out randomly which one would be chosen to be my damage point. And of course, it was the one I didn't want it to be. So I went 0-7 and lost my match while both Adam and Ike won theirs. We ended the day with 2 wins and 3 losses as a team, which is not too bad for my first team formatted event. Even getting 1 win was huge for me, so I was honestly super excited. I don't exactly remember what rank we got at the very end, but it was like high 20s, I think. It was 20 something, which going 2-3 as a team isn't horrible because we weren't last. While we did have 5 teams playing, none of us managed to get top 8, so we didn't have to stay and keep playing. Nor did anyone win any extra goodies, such as the sleeves, booster packs, or playmats. We left to get empanadas a few stores down in the same plaza called Che Empanadas. Chi Empanadas? I'm not quite sure, I'm sorry. Which were so delicious to the point that I forgot to record them, but I promise they were so good. While the whole group was hanging outside, I realized that 3 of us had gone 1-5 the whole day. It was me and 2 of our longest playing players. So I joke saying that we should be a team next year. But it goes to show how TCGs work. Doesn't really matter how long you've been playing, sometimes it's truly just luck.
Boss, or are we playing boss?
Because you know no summons.
What the After that, we went to go get ice cream despite it being way too cold in my opinion. We then went to the mall because the mall is all, some might say. The group, for whatever reason, really enjoys going to the mall and perusing after tournaments, so of course, I went to peruse my first mall with the group. I easily got distracted on the way into the mall and found this really cute, like, just, I don't know, cute store and found Japanese Pokemon packs. After reaching the food court, I saw a GameStop nearby, so I got up to check it out and actually found something I'd never seen before in person. I still have it in the bag because I wanted to show you guys. But at GameStop, I found Chocobo Crystal Hunt. It is a card game that's a lot like Goldfish. What I actually didn't know, though, about this game was that a lot of Final Fantasy TCG players buy this to use the crystal cards in their crystal decks, which I thought was really cool, so I'm really happy to have this now. I was so exhausted after playing 5 rounds of Final Fantasy TCG and just being away from the hotel for 14 hours, so as soon as we got back, I passed out. Not before opening our Pokemon packs, where we did get one pretty good hit.
We went to the mall. I don't even think I recorded anything while there, but that's kidding. I recorded in Eloise, I think was the name of the cute store. This is the baggie, very cute. And they had some Pokemon packs for $4 each. So I'm gonna open those tonight. And then we went to GameStop because for the first time ever, they had Chocobo Crystal Hunt. I was gonna say Chocobo Hunt, but that is not what it's called. We're gonna open the packs and we're gonna chill for the rest of the night. Okay. Good night. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is day 2. Today is the singles day part of the tournament. The prizes are just coming packs if you win a game. So I signed up. Hopefully I at least get one win today. That's always my goal. Just one. But we're gonna be heading out for breakfast. Hopefully I remember to get some food shots today. The empanadas from yesterday were so good, and I didn't let it record them at all, so you guys can't even see that they look delicious. But yeah, we're gonna head over to a place near the shop.
They're very aggressive. They're real. Honey, oh, there's so many! Oh. Why are you walking so close? Hi, ladies!
And get breakfast. My head actually kind of hurts. I need caffeine and Excedrin. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I needed to say, but this weekend's been really good so far. So I hope you guys are also enjoying the video too. Okay, bye.
Day 2 of the tournament was no longer in teams format, but the traditional singles where you played one opponent with no outside assistance. We had to pay $20 to sign up the day prior, and there were about 60 people who signed up and started the day.
I got her! She's so cute!
They also had other side events going on, such as a draft where you pick a card and pass it along until you made a deck. This format wasn't new player friendly though, so I didn't sign up for it and unfortunately didn't get to watch it either. For day 2, there were 6 rounds to play. And of course, out of 60 plus people who signed up to play, I had to play Mike, aka person from my locals that I have played against the most. The odds of that are absolutely wild and very funny. I figured out pretty quickly that Mike was playing his Warrior of Light deck, but I made a pretty big mistake pretty early on. I ditched 2 cards to play my Clive card when I should have used the 2 backups that I had to generate 2 CP and only discard 1 card. So I started off on a pretty bad foot and barely saw backups all game. I believe I got 1 or 2 points of damage before losing round 1.
Got this cute lanyard. Sweet Enix. So I'm pretty sure you can just get this member points. I could be so wrong, but very exciting.
Oh, there's much more cards in here.
Round 2, I played Amart for a second time. I lost again to his Knights deck, and we played a friendly afterwards because I lost so quickly. We actually got to chat about how we're mutuals from some people on Twitch, which was really cool, and it was overall a really nice round, despite losing. Round 3, I finally got to play a new player. I introduced myself and learned that he was actually also vlogging this weekend. Cash drove all the way from Iowa to play this weekend, and his team won the first day for the team's event. I believe he played a Refia deck, which I thought early on was a Warrior of Light deck, but I was able to get my first win of the day with 7-0. Round 4 was against Alex, who I learned is also from PA, just a different area, so he introduced me to a lot of stores and discords for Final Fantasy TCG. Alex was so incredibly friendly despite destroying me with his Lightning and Water Scions deck. I believe I got either 1 or 2 points of damage before he got to 7. This was my second time playing this deck, and because of my love for Final Fantasy XIV, I am very interested in building this deck myself someday. Alex showed me all the cards I would need to build this deck with my current starter 14 decks. Round 5 I have no footage of, however, I did win 7-0. The only thing that I'm going to say about this match is that I did learn that you can call judges if someone is taking too long for their turns. Most people are super understanding if you're a new player and you're just trying to read your cards and decide, but a judge can and should be called to ensure that everyone is taking the proper amount of time per turn. I didn't know that because I didn't want to be a jerk. I didn't know what the standard was. There are many reasons to call a judge, and time is one of them. I could feel the stress of round 6 as I was so shocked to have 2 wins for the day, and I so badly wanted to go even for my first ever singles tournament. But that meant I had to win the very last match of the day. And just like yesterday, my last match of the day was against Turbo Chaos. Once again, I was able to build my wall and got annihilated 0-7. At this point of the day, most of the crew had left as we all had a pretty long drive back home. And they didn't win enough early on to continue playing to get any of the extra goodies, but we did have a couple players make top 8. So some of them were able to win extra stuff like packs, a play mat, and a deck box. I waited until I saw the standings to see how I did, and I think 49 out of 57 isn't too bad. About 10-ish players dropped out before the end, so that's why the numbers aren't the same as, like I said, I think 60 plus players signed up. I got to meet so many members of the Final Fantasy TCG community, from casual to competitive players to content creators. It was a really fun event, and I'm so looking forward to the next time I can go to one. Afterwards, my partner and I had dinner at a test kitchen, and even there I saw something that reminded me of FFTCG. We decided to leave the next day as we didn't want to drive after a very long day and during the night. I even got to eat at my first Waffle House. But I didn't get waffles, and I'm not sure if that's a crime or not, but it was very good. But now I'm back, and I have a whole competitive season to look forward to. I am so excited for what this year has to hold for me in regards to Final Fantasy TCG. I do plan on attending way more events as much as possible, as much as I can with my work schedule and just with traveling and whatnot. And I want to bring you along every single time. So I can't wait to continue making more content for you guys. I hope you are enjoying them. If you haven't already, subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Give this video a little like, maybe comment. I will continue to bring you guys along with me on my journey of learning Final Fantasy TCG, as well as do box openings and these type of vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye!